The saddest thing about this morning is Jen totally isn't getting my Full Metal Jacket references.
We're on our second cup of coffee, trying to get out a little bit earlier this morning. Unfortunately, that family is still busy. We haven't heard from them, so it's good old peanut butter burritos for breakfast.
You know, it's the little touches that really make a space. So it looks like a lot of people actually come and hit this twice. Also, people are bad about signing in on the left hand. This has been a really cool stay, but the saddest thing is those folks that bring food out here that didn't respond, holiday, yada, yada. The pictures actually list coffee and a breakfast burrito, which, it's so hard to find a good breakfast burrito. So if you're wondering why there are all the signs that say only one night stay is allowed, that would be the trail adjacent individual thing. That is often the downfall of places like this. And I've seen some unfortunate cases where like a church had free hiker accommodations, but somebody claiming to be a hiker was taking so much advantage they have to be like forced out. So we don't actually know if it rained last night or not. We could see a couple of clouds when we glanced out the window, but mostly we were holed up and I was dead tired. The moment we ate, I was out. Yes, big scary hiker. There actually is a community center listed in Tibbetts that has free Wi-Fi, and I really intended to run over there and check a couple of things, get videos uploaded, but I was just too beat last night. We finished dinner and I just crawled in bed, and Jen had to get everything shut down for the night. And then I told myself I'd go over there this morning, but it's hard to leave air conditioning when you've been living in the humidity like this. Fortunately, because we were in AC, everything is dry. Last night when we pulled in, I mean, everything on me was soaked. I'm actually a little worried about my AirPods case because the two pockets I switch it between, again, are just getting so soaked with sweat. I'm like, that might actually overwhelm the waterproofness. So that was a really nice night. I like places like that. It's not like I don't like them. It's just, I don't like sleeping in close quarters with others, never have. And I have had situations where I was staying in a spot like that and had somebody show up at like 9:30 at night. So I will usually take the less ideal sleeping situation just to avoid having to stress about that. But in the end, we're both happy we stayed. It was very, very, very nice to get inside next to an air conditioner and get everything dried out. It's been so humid, I think my camp pillow is actually molding because it's in the bag and never dries out. And today we have more walking. We are basically on time for Boonville. We're gonna try and do a little bit of a bigger day today. We left a little bit early since we've been getting out late due to friends, catch up, yada yada. And our goal today is to get to a town towards the end of the day, probably have dinner, assuming their restaurant is actually open, because we have had horrible luck as far as things no longer being open or not being there on the days they're open. And then we will, there is camping in the same town, hammock or something like that. But rather than camp in the middle of a park around houses, we'll probably just hike a few miles out where there are a couple of primitive / dispersed sites listed. So hopefully those won't be underwater. We will disperse camp tonight. The following night we'll be near another town, I think it was Rocheport. And we are currently debating doing a B&B stop just since it seems to be kind of a featured thing here. Like I mentioned the other day, I kind of regret not staying in one of the lock houses along the C&O. It would have been a little splurge, but it would have been kind of a cool, unique stay, and I'm all about the unique stays. Night after that will probably be Boonville. The plan is get in, get a hotel, do whatever cleanup stuff we need, wait for the post office to open Monday morning, and then we will grab Jen's shoes and head onward. The only other thing we really have scheduled after that is we have an option for a cabin stay right where the Katy and the Rock Island Trail meet. So we'll probably try and do that. And then once we're on the Rock Island, it's just best time to Kansas City, which is where my next pair of shoes are. But that's a couple hundred miles away. We just saw our first bike packers in a while. We were really expecting more people to be out here, like we've seen the occasional, but there wasn't a heavy amount of traffic since right near St. Louis and the start. We're not sure if that's just, people are riding from the population center and going a short distance, or if all the weather and flooding kind of scared people away the last couple of days. "200 people killed. Oops, not so much." And this is always the problem. I find a turtle and Taters is somewhere back there. Fortunately, this seems to be a very, very lazy turtle that's just going to kind of spy at me. Mush, Blondie. Don't mind me, I've just been sitting here sending you songs for communication. You might want to move him off the trail though, because I had to protect him from some cyclists.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, he looks really scared. I don't normally see him where they're all the way pulled in like that.
Do you realize how big your footprint falls must have been?
Let's go, little guy.
Tater's turtle rescuer. Oh, you gotta make airplane noises. And I'm guessing that would be Jefferson City. Sadly, this is as close as we get to the city without taking a spur, but oh well. So things are starting to dry out here. It looks like the main flooding is tailing off. 9:45 this morning was the highest point per the local gauges, but it is still pretty wet everywhere. And I guess there's the aftermath of this storm. Oh, compared with Mississippi last year, that would be somewhere between fun and bloody terrifying. So this is just crossing the Katy Trail, but yeah, we still got some high water. And we have been making pretty good progress. We are just a few miles out of Hartsburg, where I am super excited for food because Taters has not been feeding me. Taters just keeps talking about the beer, however. So she wants to hydrate. Matt just wants food.
Hey, I have fond memories of you in Unionville, okay?
Mm-hmm. And welcome to our dinner stop. We are around 21, 22 miles in, somewhere around there. Our plan is to go past this after we eat and camp. We have some indicators that there are stealth spots we can use. And we are on a hunt for food and beer. Not necessarily in that order, because I think Taters is about to bowl somebody over in order to get a cold beer. Oh! And for once, we are not here on the one day they're closed. Bound to happen sooner or later.
I was hoping for Unionville vibes out of here. Instead I'm getting more less jubilant and joyful and just vaguely grumpy with the state of things.
So the only problem with getting, let's just say theoretically, 2 dinners, an appetizer, and 3 beers apiece, is afterwards you have to walk. And somebody replaced my hip belt with a slightly smaller model.
But
and
you're so hydrated. Before, when we got you some beer, you were like all joyful running out to camp.
Now I'm more nappy. Taters is doing really good here. Don't worry, as long as the camera's not pointed at her, she can almost hold it together. Just don't mention ballerina tutus or anything, because yeah, don't know. And welcome to the sad horror that has become Master Taters Does America.
What happened to
As
all your
Taters
energy?
forces me
to increase.
Yes. Are you familiar with the word food coma? Words food coma. Okay, so it is 7:53. Our current plan, slightly against my objections, is we are walking out of town. There is a conservation area which legally allows dispersed camping. That is good news. Unfortunately, there is no indication there is actually camping within that zone. There's just a note that the zone itself allows camping. It looks like it might be a little on the cliffy side. Okay, so we are currently butting up to an area that allows primitive camping, so we're just trying to find an appropriate spot. And here we apparently have the Tater seal of, I guess this will work. Oh, welcome to the lovely world of stealth camping. And yeah, this is actually fairly reasonable. We are technically legal. Let's actually look up there just to see if we can get further from the trail. We're just checking out options because, well, this will work just fine and we are technically legal. We think we are a little bit visible. And a fun time here at Camp Macetators as we are listening to farm kids setting off explosives in the not so distant area. They live in farm fields, Jen. They're a little bored.
We are gonna enjoy our semi-cozy trailside camp tonight. We're gonna settle in and watch a TV episode and hope that by the end of the TV episode, the explosions in the nearby field have calmed down. Next 2 nights will be in town, hotel nights, probably in Rocheport tomorrow night and then Boonville the following night. Home sweet home for the night.
Extreme hydration just leads to me. Picture me in a ballerina outfit. Wonderful image, yes. Doing like the toe thing, spinning around. Picture the buttocks with the little tutu. Very important to this entire image. Now that the buttocks and the tutu are in your mind, picture the pea flying in a circle. I don't know where I was going with this, but Taters appears to be broken. Somebody summon medical help. Good thing she stole my trekking pole, huh?